Have you ever seen someone so loved by the world suddenly become the center of a storm? That's exactly what's happening with Ryan Reynolds. From his hilarious comebacks to his lovable charm, he's always been Hollywood's golden guy. But one shocking confession about letting his 7-year-old daughter say a highly inappropriate line in Deadpool and Wolverine has sparked outrage. What was meant to be a fun family cameo has now turned into a full-blown controversy. So what really happened behind the scenes? Why is the internet calling this disturbing? Let's dive in and explore everything that's setting Hollywood on fire right now. Let's start with the moment that kicked off the entire controversy. In Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds' real-life daughter, Inez, steps into the shoes of Kid Pool, a young, sassy version of Deadpool himself. Like her older counterpart, Kid Pool is sarcastic, sharp-tongued, and not shy about using foul language. In what was supposed to be her big comedic moment, Inez's character delivers a line that left audiences stunned. "Hey, when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's D** out of your mouth." Yes, you heard that right. A line like that, from a 7-year-old in a Marvel superhero film, shocked even the most hardcore Deadpool fans. Sure, the franchise is well known for its R-rated humor, outrageous dialogue, and pushing the envelope, but this time, people weren't laughing. What made it especially jarring wasn't just the language. It was the fact that the line didn't come from a trained child actor hired for the role. It came from Ryan Reynolds' own daughter.
Fight isn't with
Hey,
you!
when I want your opinion, I'll take Wolverine's out of your mouth!
That's Kid.
Personally coached by him for the scene. That revelation took the shock factor to a whole new level. During a behind-the-scenes commentary alongside director Shawn Levy, Ryan Reynolds casually dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. While discussing the filming of the Deadpool course scene, Reynolds revealed that the young actor behind the bold Kid Pool line was none other than his 7-year-old daughter, Inez. He admitted that he personally coached her through the delivery of the line and even joked, "Guilty, that is my daughter Inez, and I am Father of the Year for allowing her to say such language." But here's the thing. The internet didn't laugh. In fact, many people were horrified. Reynolds went on to explain that Inez was hesitant about saying the line at first, clearly uncomfortable with the language. However, when he lightly mentioned that they might look for someone else to play the role, she changed her mind and agreed to do it. What really fueled the fire was his next admission. They filmed that same line anywhere between 70 to 500 times to get the perfect take.
I'm not you 70 to 500 versions of that line.
I'm gonna pay for that later.
Blake Lively there as Lady.
What was supposed to be a playful behind-the-scenes anecdote ended up becoming one of the most criticized moments in Reynolds' career. People didn't hold back. As soon as the behind-the-scenes clip went public, social media erupted. Comments flooded in across platforms, with many calling the situation disturbing, predatory, and even child abuse. Outraged fans and parents alike expressed disbelief that a child, especially one so young, was asked to say something so explicit on camera. One viewer wrote, "It is really diabolical for him as her father." Another added, "I thought the line was crude when I watched the movie, but finding out it was a little girl, his own daughter, who said it, that's disgusting." It wasn't just fans. Parents, child psychologists, and people within the film industry joined the conversation. Some former child actors weighed in, reflecting on their own experiences with inappropriate material and how it affected them. The most common concern repeated by many was simple but powerful. A child should never be coached to say something so vulgar, especially not by her own father, and certainly not in a film being shown to millions across the world. What many expected to be an edgy joke turned into a full-blown ethics debate. Director Shawn Levy also weighed in during the same behind-the-scenes commentary, and his tone was far from celebratory. He openly admitted that filming the scene with Inez felt awkward and uncomfortable, especially given the nature of the dialogue. Even Reynolds, who tried to keep the mood playful, followed up with, "Yeah, I'll pay for that later." But the joke didn't land. Many called it tone-deaf, considering the serious concerns being raised about involving a child in such explicit content. This controversy has opened up a much larger and more serious conversation. Should children be part of R-rated content at all? Inez wasn't simply playing a background role or saying something innocent. She delivered a line that, by every standard, was written purely for shock value. And it wasn't just a one-time take. She reportedly had to act it out dozens, possibly hundreds of times in different tones, expressions, and deliveries for the camera. Critics and parenting experts argue that it doesn't matter if the film was meant to be funny or if it was just a joke. The bigger concern lies in the message it sends to both the industry and the audience, that getting a laugh or going viral is more important than protecting a child's innocence and emotional well-being. For many, it crosses a moral line that should never be blurred, especially in the name of entertainment. Reynolds may have thought it was a cool bonding moment. Involving your kid in a big Marvel movie? That sounds like a fun story for the family scrapbook, the kind of tale you'd tell at dinner parties for years. A Hollywood memory sealed in cinematic history. But critics argue that he overlooked one major detail: she's 7. While Reynolds is known for pushing comedic and creative boundaries, many believe this time he pushed way too far. The fact that he's her father adds even more weight to the controversy. A trained child actor might have on-set teachers, legal representatives, and protections in place. But when it's your own dad directing you to say something explicit for laughs, that hits differently, and not in a good way. Many believe this wasn't just a creative risk. It was a serious lapse in parental judgment. Next, there's another big question floating around. How did Disney approve this? Disney owns Marvel, and even though Deadpool is technically part of their adult content catalog under the 20th Century Studios banner, Disney still has the final say on everything. That includes casting decisions, final scripts, and content approval. So naturally, fans were stunned to learn that Disney allowed a real child, not a voice-modified adult or a stunt voiceover, to deliver something so graphic and sexually suggestive on screen. Some believe Disney might have been unaware of the specifics. Others think they looked the other way simply because it was Reynolds, one of their most bankable stars. A few even suggested this slipped through during post-production edits. Either way, the public wants answers. With Disney's long-standing image of family-friendly content, many are questioning how this scene managed to get the green light without any serious pushback. Just when the backlash was heating up, more drama hit from an entirely different direction. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are already knee-deep in a high-profile legal battle with director Justin Baldoni. Lively publicly accused Baldoni of sexual harassment and defamation tied to their film It Ends With Us, igniting a media firestorm. In response, Baldoni filed a massive $400 million countersuit, claiming that Reynolds, Lively, and their team orchestrated a targeted smear campaign to ruin his career and reputation. In that context, Reynolds' joking "best dad" confession during the Deadpool and Wolverine commentary hit even harder. Critics pointed out the irony. How can someone speak out against inappropriate behavior while being accused of putting his own daughter in an ethically questionable situation? For many, the timing couldn't be worse, and the contrast between Reynolds' public stance and his parenting decision has only added fuel to the already blazing fire. Until now, Reynolds has always been the good guy in Hollywood. Witty, family-oriented, and socially aware, he's used humor to win hearts across the world, and rarely found himself in serious controversy. But some fans say this situation has completely changed their view of him. On platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and X, users are expressing disappointment and even outrage. Some are now calling for a boycott of Deadpool and Wolverine, saying they can't support a film that involved a child in such a disturbing way. One user wrote, "I thought it was funny in the movie because I assumed the voice was an adult doing a kid's voice, like Bart Simpson. Then I found out it was his actual daughter. I was sick." Others added that they feel betrayed, having admired Reynolds not just as an actor, but as a responsible father. For them, this wasn't just a bad call, it was a breaking point. Interestingly, Blake Lively has remained completely quiet on the matter. She's usually vocal and fiercely protective when it comes to her children's privacy, especially from paparazzi and public scrutiny. So her silence here really stands out and hasn't gone unnoticed by fans and media alike. Some wonder if she supported the decision from the start or simply went along with it to keep peace. Others speculate that she might now be rethinking the entire situation, especially as backlash grows louder and the internet continues to pile on. For someone so media savvy, her silence speaks volumes. It's still early to say whether this controversy will have lasting effects on Reynolds' career. The film is already a box office hit, and many loyal fans continue to defend him, arguing that it was just a joke and that his daughter wasn't truly harmed in the process. But others aren't so quick to let it slide. They believe this moment pulled back the curtain on a darker, more uncomfortable side of Hollywood parenting, one where laughs, shock value, and viral moments take priority over a child's emotional well-being. Some say it's a sign of how far even beloved stars can go when no one is willing to say enough. Ryan Reynolds may have intended it as a light-hearted family moment, but the internet didn't see it that way. The backlash is loud, the questions are serious, and the debate isn't over. Is this just a parenting misstep or something deeper? What do you think? Did he go too far? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.